Okay, hello. We're going to talk about a few things, and I'm going to go into more detail in the next coming weeks. And there's a lot to cover, and I'm not going to do it all at once, and I kind of have the next week off. So probably going to be more like in the next week, but we're going to be talking about the situation with the baby's daddy and the Kessingers and how things have gotten out of whack. So, and its agendaed conspiracy of why I do the things that we do. Now, I did make a tape previously about the mom, Capricina, talking about how I exploited her and just used her and all this stuff, and then I did the math, and it really, the value of what I contributed was really high, like 12K in value at minimum wage, not at chef wages or chauffeur wages, but at minimum wage, and also putting in literal cash and putting in vouchers and benefits and food stamps and all the other things as well, illegal aid, etc. I already made a tape on that. Oh, that wasn't correct, and that seems to be the act. And I'm bringing this up because this is all gaslighting and it's a group maneuver. Okay, so, and I've been told if I'm pregnant. Now, Donovan has made an argument recently, so I'm guessing this is his argument, that he hasn't seen me in 6 months. You were there. I left 3 days before June. Okay? Left, I guess, it was like attacked. And left on the side of the road. And they suspected I was pregnant. And my period was late. It's one of the last things I say is, don't forget your pads, like trying to be all mean. And I go, I don't think I'll need them. Why? Because I kind of already was having other symptoms, and he kind of already knew that. So, and then within the next 1 or 2 weeks of being ditched on the side of the road, I went to the doctor and had a pregnancy test to protect my kid. And sent that to him, and then I took 3 pregnancy tests from the doctor. Excessive, I know, but I have to. Peed 6 times on a stick. Made videos of peeing. Made videos of going to the doctor. You can hear the doctor saying, it's a strong pregnancy. We detect this. Yes, it's a confirmed pregnancy. You see the paperwork. You see the sonograms on camera. Not just pictures, but actually on video of the machines. How do I fake this shit? And 3 different times you hear or see this. I can't legally film, okay? But did so, and when they weren't looking, then flashed over to the thing. But you hear it all. It's definitely a doctor. It's a doctor's office. You know that it's a sonogram machine. So that's all pretty well there. I'm obviously too round to be my normal body. Yeah, okay, but go on about if. And he's trying to say that he saw me 6 months ago, but I'm 22 weeks pregnant. So it's not possibly his. It's not 6 months ago. Are you guys insane? You were all there. You were all there. So that makes no sense. It's pretty pathetic. And then this is really pissing me off. This is like beyond. This is beyond when you're starting to deny. I've welcomed him to take a paternity test. He doesn't seem to want to relinquish his rights, and nor would it be that easy for him, actually, because the judge would just see you're just trying to dodge payment and probably not do it. I have been kind of definitely defending his parental rights because of, I guess, compassion for what happened last time with him. And how traumatic that was, and I didn't want to be a person that just took away his kid. I wanted to give him a lot of chances, and he has blown them all, and shown not one time in the entire time asked me, is the kid okay? That breaks my fucking heart. Not one time did he ask about his son, and or say like, well, how beautiful he was in the pictures or anything. So, and then on top of that, the family actually collectively stole and hoarded my belongings, and I've been asking for them from the family since June, and him, if if I could get those poetry books that I published, they're like, we don't know where those are. They're on Amazon. The world knows that. There's a lot of games, you guys. The world goes out there saying, if you're pregnant, if this and that, and this is like all really sad, actually. Just tired of like seriously, like this is like a grand thing for the planet that this is like happening, and like it's being treated like so poorly. Like I'm being told to abort the kid, and like that we don't matter, that no one will love us, and all this shit, like from his family and like from him, and all this stuff, that we don't matter, we're not important, and like all this shit, and it's just really sad. But anyways, I'll try to stick to facts. He's saying twins. You guys have no proof that I said that I said that. I never said that. I've been very consistently saying, I thought it was a girl, but I never said multiple. So that's not me. And every email I've sent Donovan, it's been the sonograms of one. There's not two. There's not even room for two. And most of the time when people have twins, it's fertility drugs. But we were there at the moment of conception, actually, you guys. And it looks just like him. It's his legs, it's his head, it's his face, it's his hands. You can't see the hands in the photos because it's on the video, but I saw the hands, and he's tall, and he's big, bigger than Donovan was as a baby. And well, if you've seen Donovan below, then it also matches his son. Okay. So, it looks more like him than me, like by far, and so to say it's like another person's kid or whatever is like not the case. Sorry, I'm like wiping my nose, but and then so he ended up keeping my stuff, as you guys recall it, from eBay, from videos. I'm sure that I had this laptop. I think I actually have when I originally got that laptop too. Should be good. And it was to be sold right before I left. We had a buyer at over $250, and easily you can get more for that. I've seen the same laptop on sale for almost $2,000. Okay, I think it was 2009, but I'm serious. I've seen it refurbished for like 1,400. Okay, so I'm being very minimal and asking for 300. That's not even close to the average. It's much higher. They're asking for 400, 500, 1,000, and I'm asking for either my laptop back, or to be compensated for that, I'm also asking for my books back so that I might make some money. And I'm also asking for the 200 that you guys know that he owes me, that he and Carmen stole from me to use on drugs, apparently, that accidentally ended up being bath salts. Well, that's what you get. And then Donovan's saying that he also lied and said that he just didn't have any money. That's why he didn't give it. But he says to me that he worked at Yosemite and they took out $240 for rent every week, which doesn't make much sense to me. That like sharing a cabin, then why would you do that? Would cost that much of your paycheck. And then I contacted Yosemite, and it was not the case. It's $280 bi-weekly that they took out, which means he made over rent $4,000. And is still playing the game. I don't have any money. I don't have any money. I don't have any money. And then does admit to me, but with wrong math, because he's not doing it correctly, that he drank away the money. So he says, drank away. And then, contacts me to tell me about how he's, like, having sex with other girls, and, like, all this stuff that doesn't need to really be talked about. And I'm not even trying to talk about a drama. I'm just, like, asking if he wants to, like, be a dad. And then I asked him if he wanted to terminate his rights, and he said no. Okay, well, then, like, what do you want? Because you don't want to be supportive, you don't care about the sonogram. You don't care about any of it. And so you guys are acting like I'm doing all this stuff to hold him near, but I haven't tried to be with him this whole time. You guys, like, have I? Are you gonna say it some text or something? But you've been watching me. Like, did I go to Yosemite when he wanted me to? No, I didn't. I'm not been writing him an email about this. I don't know what your information is, but it's not what I'm saying. And he is more trapping me by holding on to my belongings, and also by emotional abuse and like psychological tactics, and by not, he doesn't want to terminate the rights, which agreed. A judge is probably not going to let you just not pay, because I'm going to make an argument for why that shouldn't be the case, and it's not that hard to argue. It's just, that's what you've got to do. And but I have been protecting him from jail during all this. So all the nefarious things, like, you're Carmen in jail. It's illegal for them to date. She's unintelligible, deemed by the courts, which means having sex with her is illegal, because it's like having sex with like someone who like can't put together thoughts. And also, she has a restraining order. So if they're together, she goes to jail. But he doesn't care about her safety, and she doesn't care about her own, and they're all on their own. This seems kind of insane, like, right? Like, people wouldn't normally do that. Right, but there's other factors going on here, motivations and whatnot. And so I could get both of them in jail. I could get, I could get him for domestic violence. I could get him for theft. I could get him for some of his admitted illegal activity since then. I could get him for admitting that he does drugs since then. I could get him for any probation violation, so opening a beer is enough to get him. Driving without a license is enough to get him. Any of these things are totally illegal, and I've not done anything. He has a warrant. Placerville, you know it because you're taped, so I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. Placerville. So all I have to do is tell the cops that guy's got a warrant, and he's gone. I'm not trying to be this person, but I'm also just, I've at my limit. I've been really abused here, unfortunately, by this guy that I really cared about, and it's in such a similar Abe-like way. Although Donovan left me with $17, not $15, so I thank you for the $2 extra. Means a lot. And he took the bank card, which had like our mutual funds right before. One of the stipulations of me getting out of the house is I had that bank card, so at least I had the little bit of money that was on it. I don't know if you have the footage when he's biting my face and like messing with my fingers, like pulling them back and stuff, when the whole thing is like happening and I'm getting kicked out of the van and I wasn't doing anything. That's the scariest part. I was just sitting there, and if you have the tape, then you know it's true. And he's like all over me, attacking me, throwing my stuff out of the side of the car, and none of it was necessary at all. It wasn't deserved, and it just was like a reaction, like practically out of nowhere. So, and then the big argument for why the family won't help me is they're like, well, you said that Caprice was poisoning you. Well, actually what I said was that I thought that she was. But I didn't say it to her. I was really diplomatic when I spoke to her, considering the subject matter. And she played hella games, and I was already paranoid prior to that. And on top of that, I had that worry for months prior to me getting, Donovan's whole thing. But incidentally, why the fight broke out was because she was tampering with my ice cream. And then he covered for her, and that's fucking terrifying. She waited 30 seconds, like literally. I forgot about the ice cream. Sometimes I accidentally leave food, and I came back 30 seconds later in the house. She had been waiting in her bed, and she was in the freezer with it in the freezer, so probably not to show the cameras, with the lid off, doing something to it. And then he came back and told me, oh no, she ate her ice cream, blah blah blah. And then that wasn't even true. And then that's why I started getting beat. Actually, was about. It's funny how often our arguments stemmed around her. About 70% of our arguments had to do in some way about his mother. It's very, very interesting. But so that's not a valid point. It was, well, that's why we didn't help. Blah, blah. I mean, I was actually living there when all of that wasn't a new issue. That was an old issue. So, more it was on my end that I was getting upset by his mom's commentary about if I were pregnant and how bad that would be, and that my kid would be retarded and all this stuff, and due to malnutrition, which is not something that happens from malnutrition. You can't create a mental like retardation at all from malnutrition. I'm not really sure what that was about. I guess because she couldn't say drugs to me, because then it would be like me going what on camera and then her being like what. So it's just all part of that. But yeah. So this is some of the recap of what has actually been going on. Haven't tried to trap him. Haven't tried to get him back. Did try to have compassion and be there for him as a friend and as a co-parent, and try to protect his rights as a co-parent, and I did care about that. But I'm not getting that. He doesn't want to terminate the rights. He doesn't want to not terminate the rights. He doesn't want to give me my stuff. He doesn't want me in his life. It's like constantly like I can't just go. And like this family is holding all my stuff, and it's like, if you want me to go, why don't you guys just pay me? It's a very minimal amount. He owes me sum of $500 and 2 books. Just fucking pay it as a family. And then he works for 3 months and lives at his mom's. He can pay everything that he owes and for the next 2 years and be done with it. He could do it in one check if he wanted to. He could do it over time every month and not have to see me. And so this is not a trap-em thing. It's just that the baby needs things. And I've been the only one to supply the work or the stuff or the appointments, 1.5 billion appointments, by bus and by foot and by the whole thing, and all the stuff, going through the medical changes and on and on and on with being pregnant, and the symptoms, and how you have to sacrifice your body, and how it's really hard, and how all the stuff, and it's all on me all the time, and I'm just, it's legally is also his thing, but also morally and spiritually. So I'm not trying to have this person, I'm not trying to force him to be with me romantically. I just didn't see him do any of the work. He needed to be in counseling if he wanted that to be a reality, and he needed to not be drinking. He didn't make either one of those things happen, so I felt that he didn't want it bad enough. But all the things he said, yes, well, he was tee-hee-heeing with the other one. All the things that he said about wanting me back and all the stuff, he never did the actions. Not one. So I just, like, you know, I don't know. I just let him do his thing, and I just watched, and it wasn't good. So then that's that. But at this point, we are looking at a slew of legal issues that I have him on, and I could make his life very difficult. And that has not been my motive, but it kind of seems like that's what he's trying to do for me. Just to seriously make it as hard on me as possible, and I'm not sure why, because I really don't deserve that. So it's not about his mom. He said his mom was poisoning me. Didn't you have me at knife point and accuse me and her of the same thing, and you're like now offended? I had a knife on my face. On my face, as you know what I mean, and that was months prior. So it's been hard, and really, like, I've been trying to give this person the benefit of the doubt. They just need counseling and time and blah blah. I don't know. I just, what can you do when someone wants to be bad? Like, if that's what they really want, like, no one can stop anyone from anything. So, but that's not my intention here. But my patience is done, and I have been really abused, especially lately, with the back and forth of emotions of like, he's gonna come through, he's gonna help, he's gonna be reliable, he's getting his shit together, and then it's like, oops, he's like, you know, like dating a teen who brings like bad drama and like STDs and stuff, and like, and is drinking and like doing all this stupid shit, and then telling his family. He's actively has it in an email, which I kind of at least appreciated that you. I always like this part of you. There's always this thing that you do, and then I go, that's why. Oh, that's why I was into you. And that thing is the truth. And even when it comes with a lie, and he says, like, oh, I've been gaslighting you to my family. I've been telling them that you're crazy and trying to convince them of that this whole time, that you're just crazy so that they won't help you. But that's not cute because it hurts the baby. So, this is what I'm saying to you. This is the reality. We will go more into the context of this and what's really going on. But this is like the precursor to that story there. And so far, all he said, kind of in his, he's been really awful. Like straight up, he's too cowardly to get on the phone with me. I don't have a phone, but when I have contact with someone who has a phone, I say, you know, I can use so-and-so's phone, and he can't do it. Video, he won't do it. He can't even face me. He can't meet in person. He can't do anything to just talk about the baby. He can't do it. He won't do it because he's such a coward. And there's a child, and like he said he wanted this, and it's just really sad, man. And here's this golden opportunity, another son. I mean, I didn't call it, I thought it was a daughter. Another son, and right there, and he chooses instead, like, the woman who took away his son and who helped cause my second miscarriage. You realize that when I started bleeding was the argument because of her contacting him, and now there's this, and now there's a third lost kid on his end, and like hopefully, you know, all my stuff is medically goes well, and I'm not put in such a situation from people like this that anything bad happens. But it's just like, and to 3 babies that this chick has helped take away, and this is like, I mean, okay, but I don't want to be around it. That's the bottom line. And at this point, all I have to do is say a warrant. But all I want is my stuff back. So I don't want to make a big drama, and it seems like almost like they're like beckoning me to come there to make a drama because they won't give me my stuff back. But we don't know where it is. I've only been asking since May and June with you guys. So what are you talking about? And also, too bad, then compensate me. It was still my property. Everyone knows I had it. It's not. So this is at the point where the family's actually robbing a pregnant woman. It's not just, well, we don't want to enable. No. You're robbing me. It's bad. Like, really bad. But I do see the silver lining in this, and I will, if this has to go to cops and court, which it looks like I'm left with no other options. I'm keep trying here to contact the family and get all the stuff in line, and it's not working. And yeah, I think that I don't know, that that the next, I have made a decision prior to this that I would start defending myself legally from all the hires and rats and dime a dozen people that are hired by you know who, and that I would start to stop being the victim and start taking legal action. And you see this elsewhere, and now you're seeing this here, and then you'll see this in the future too. And as I study for the bar, however long that takes, it takes like a year, but so that's where I'm going with this. And I just wanted what was right for the kid, and it's like become insultingly impossible.